22 minutes after 10 o'clock, Nakeso in the building. That's Naked DJ as well as Somizi. We are ready to help Anonymous. Are you ready? Like Somizi mentioned yesterday, there are many who take the time. You dodge the office. You go into your car. You go into the bathroom. Whatever it takes to ask a man, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's bring on Anonymous. Good morning, Anonymous.
Good morning. Good morning, Krista. How are you?
Good, thanks to you, my queen.
I'm good, thanks.
My queen, I'm going to read you the house rules. The Naked DJ and Somizi will jump in as soon as you let them know what advice you need. But respect is the foundation of our conversation. Maintain respectful language. Refrain from any swearing or use of profanities. Our responsibility is to protect your identity, and your responsibility, Anonymous, is to extend the same courtesy to protect the identity of the people or the person you'll be speaking about. Anonymous, do you agree?
I agree.
We're listening.
Okay. I'm 39 years old.
Sorry, what's 9 years old?
39 years old.
You are 39.
I'm 39 years old.
Okay.
And my husband is 40 years. We've been married for 9 years. This year will be 9 years. So now I have questions concerning my marriage. I just want to break out the points. With these pointers, I just want to know if these are reasons enough for me to get a divorce. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. The first point is that at the beginning of our marriage, our relationship, our phones, we had an open, our phones. I had access to his phone. He had access to my phone. So we had been struggling for a while to fall pregnant. Mm. So now, when we finally did fall pregnant, I discovered that my uterus was thin. So the doctor advised my gynae advised us not to be intimate for the time being while I'm still pregnant, to avoid miscarriages and stuff like that, because I had a couple of miscarriages before.
Sorry, Anonymous.
Yes. So now, while I was pregnant, I found messages from his phone, messages between him and his someone that he was seeing, or it was his girlfriend. I don't know. So yes, and then from then. Because then we were not being intimate, I confronted him about it. That what is this? The only thing that I didn't do, I did not screenshot those messages to myself. I just reacted. I just woke him up because he was asleep. I woke him up and asked him, "What is this?" And then he told me, "No, he's sorry. He'll never do it again." And then from then. He stopped. He stopped access. He stopped me from accessing his phone. His phone had now a PIN, and I could not access his phone. Mm. And then from then, the child was born. It was fine. And then after a year or two, and then I think it was a year. I started questioning him that why are we now not being intimate? Because I think that we are fine now. I'm fine. The child is okay. What is happening? Mm. And then he said, no, I'm having a problem. I'm having erectile problems. I thought it was erectile problems. So I asked him to go. I actually made an appointment for him to go and see the doctor, a men's clinic and stuff like that. Mm. But it looked like that wasn't the problem. The problem was not it was not his health. He told me that he was stressed, whatever, at work.
Mm. So it wasn't physical. It was more psychological.
Pardon?
It wasn't physical, more psychological?
Yes, it wasn't physical. It was more psychological.
So he was able to get an erection?
He was able to get an erection, but when he stressed, he couldn't, But he wasn't talking to me about what was stressing him. Okay. But then at that time, it wasn't worrying me that much because he was working far. He was not working like we're in a long distance relationship. He was in the Northern Cape and I was here in the Northwest.
Okay.
So, but then
just be careful,
year,
ne? Anonymous, don't tell us places. Just
sorry,
be careful.
Sorry, yes.
Because now we know there's a man that suffers from erections in Northern Cape.
sorry. So, okay, in 2024, in September, he started to come and work here, work this side. That's when now this issue started, because this issue now became a highlight, because now, at that time, it wasn't that much of a problem because I wasn't seeing him that much. But now, it was more, highlighted because now we're staying together. So now, like he would when I asked him for us to be intimate, he would say no, like blatantly say no. He would tell me no. We would go for 6 months without.
6 months, Anonymous.
Yes, 6 months. So
no kissing, nothing. No holding hands at the mall.
No, the kissing would be there, but no intimacy.
So when you would kiss, how long would the kisses be for? Is it like mba?
No, just mba.
Not even like yo.
Wait, Anonymous, is this after birth, after giving birth, ne?
Yes, this was after giving birth. But this was later, years later. Remember, I gave birth in 2020. Sorry, I gave birth in 2020. So this was years later. So he came back to come and stay with us. I think when the child was now 4 years, 4 years old.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So now, that's when I realized that, no, this thing is serious, Yes. So because of that, and then I asked him what could I asked advice from the people that I know are married men. They said to me, no, maybe book just a different scenario. Go and book elsewhere and see if you won't be able to to come to pass. If you guys are booking somewhere a holiday or something like that, I booked a holiday.
Okay, let's leave it there. Ne? Anonymous, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, just hold it there where other married couples were advising you guys on what to do, like to ignite the spark in your relationship. Okay, we just need to go to the headlines. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
31 minutes after 10 o'clock, we've got Anonymous on the line. Let me give us all an update as to where we are. And, of course, continue with Anonymous. So Anonymous and her partner have been together for 9 years. They have a child together. After she fell pregnant, they couldn't have sex as per her doctor's advice because of, previous miscarriages she's had in the past. Now, she says years later, they haven't been as intimate as they used to be before she fell pregnant, of course. It turned out he has an erectile dysfunction, which the doctors say is psychological. Now, she initially wasn't affected by this, as they were in long-distance relationship. She mentioned that long distance is here in this relationship, but they now live together and their lack of sex is more noticeable. Now, Anonymous, you were telling us at the fact that you spoke to your married friends. What did they suggest to you guys?
Okay, yes, you are correct, Kusa.
Thank you.
What they suggested was that maybe a change of scenario would, spark things. We must. The first time I booked a holiday in March last year. So we went, and then. We went with our son, it was fine, but then
Maralilu, now you went with the son when you were trying to.
No, but he's the one who insisted that we come with him.
Of course he did.
He insisted that no, we need to come with the child, which is fine. And then when the child was asleep, he would go out with his friends to come back in the early hours of the morning. Yes, so that there wouldn't be a chance of anything of that happening. He would come back in the morning knowing that the child would wake up anytime soon, and then there won't be a chance for that. So I tried again in October. I booked somewhere close to where we stay. and then I asked somebody to take care, to look after the child. So he refused to go. I went there for a weekend alone. He refused to go. He did not want to go. I was there alone because he did not want to go. So I asked him. I said to him, can we get a marriage counselor, because I feel like this thing is now going for some time. He does not want marriage counseling because he says that those people are going to tell him something that he already knows. That's what happened with the premarital counseling. People were telling him things that he already knew. So now he doesn't want any of those because he knows that they are going to tell him something that he already knows.
And what does he know, Anonymous?
I don't know.
But do you, his partner, you don't ask?
I do. He says that no, the things that they are saying to him, he already know what they are going to say.
Okay.
So I said to him, okay, let us involve my pastor. He doesn't go to church. I go to church. He said no, he doesn't want us involving my pastor because he thinks that the pastor is going to be biased because he knows me and he does not know him. Okay, fine. And then I spoke to his mother about this, that, this is happening and now it's becoming a concern in my marriage. Although everything else is fine, but this particular matter is a concern. And then I think his mother tried to call him or whatever. And then he told me that, no, I cannot tell his mother. How dare I tell his mother about this? In any case, he's not even going to listen to her because she did not raise him. So I'm stuck as to who exactly am I supposed to tell to speak to regarding this thing. He does not want anyone knowing what is happening in our marriage, but at the same time, he doesn't want us to resolve this. He doesn't want a marriage counselor. He doesn't want the family knowing about this and everything. And even when I speak to him, us sitting down, no argument and everything, just talking. And then I would ask him, do you still feel the same way that, about me? Are you still attracted to me? He says, yes, he's attracted to me. But his actions are not proving that he's attracted to me. So I want, in my heart, I want to release him so that he can be free and to be with the person that he wants to, he's attracted to. Because I also I feel like, I should not be denied, the sexual, I should not be deprived of sex.
That's
so
right.
I want to be with someone that will be attracted to me. That is, yes. So I want to know if this is reason enough for us to get a divorce.
Okay, that's the question.
Anonymous. So how long has it been, Anonymous, since you were intimate, since you got something, Jay?
Before January, it was last year March.
Before
and
January.
Then now it was now in January. After, yeah.
And how many rounds did you guys go?
Just one. And it was a lousy one.
You see,
then this one is bothering me. Let me just...
Did you climax, Anonymous?
No.
So when is the last time you climaxed? Which year was it when you last climaxed? Was it 2019? You don't even know. You don't remember.
I think it was before I fell pregnant. Before we had a baby.
So 2019.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Shame, Anonymous. So Mizi?
Yeah.
Is this grounds for divorce?
Why? Stay until the scrub lap has a bobo. Because ulastach. Stubborn.
How is she stubborn? So
because how do you spell I am so bored of you without spelling it? This guy has shown every sign. Oh, ya mu bora.
Okay.
Umubora. And since you've been talking, you've been working, I've been sweating on your behalf. Yo, Sebenzile. I said to my pastor. I said, let's go to therapy. I said, let's go to Tonton. Let's go to, you even go to the vacation alone. Like you are working on something that you, batting the dead horse. Yeah, like you, hey, we are fuguza, man.
Yeah.
And how many signs do you need to know, Uguti, this guy, he's staying because he can't pronounce the word, I don't want you anymore. He can't pronounce them, but he can show them. Mara, wena, hi, Statue of Liberty, I'll move away now. I'll move everything around you, but you are the only one who's not moving. So that frustrates me because it proves that I'm going to say something slightly controversial, but it needs to be spoken about. The sooner, don't marry a guy who's not excited to marry you. Because most of the time, guys marry because they are tired of answering the question, when are you marrying me?
No, Somizi. It was not. We got married after 3 months of being, of dating.
Yeah.
It's not that I asked him when is he going to get married. We didn't date for a long time. We've known each other since childhood.
Okay.
But when it comes to a relationship, we were just in a relationship for 3 months.
Okay.
And then we got married.
Okay.
Yes.
Look, Anonymous, I'm going to ask a lot of men to call in today, right?
Okay.
And the reason why I'm going to ask this is because how I picked it up is you said after you have had a couple of miscarriages. So you guys both have lost babies. You guys have both been through traumatic situations because sometimes you guys, a lot of people don't understand that men go through that trauma as well. And when the gynae said, do not have sex with this person while she's pregnant, it can lead to something. That I'm not condoning what he's doing, but that could have changed his mind and how he receives you sexually. You right?
Okay.
Now we're gonna ask you, Uguti, how what he did for his mental health around there.
Let's hold it there. We're coming back, Anonymous. 43 minutes after 10 o'clock, it's Ask a Man, the naked DJ Somizi. I'm Kutso, and we've got Anonymous. Anonymous?
Yes, I'm still here.
Please, can we allow Naked to finish his sentence? We'll wrap it with Somizi, okay?
Okay.
Anonymous, has he ever explained to you how losing those kids made him feel? And how when the gynae said, you guys are not allowed to have sex because it can have dire consequences for you. Has he ever spoken to you about how he truly feels as a man instead of just running away?
No, he has not spoken to me about how he feels. And besides, he was saying, he was at that time when those miscarriages were happening, he was working away. So I don't know how he dealt with it.
Okay.
Yes,
you see,
I do not know.
Now,
and I did ask him for the divorce. I asked him on whether, if I can just release him to get to go so that he can also be free to do whatever that he wants. He says no, he doesn't want that.
You see,
but now I feel like, yes, I did ask him. I did sit him down and say, okay, can we at least get a divorce so that you can also be free? Because I see that, it's not working out.
Anonymous.
Then he said,
Anonymous.
no, he doesn't want
Anonymous.
it.
We can.
Yes, I'm listening.
You're not listening. We can hear your sexual frustration, and it's okay. Look, I don't think you guys hate each other. I think you guys went through something very traumatic, which you guys didn't speak about and sort it out, which could have broken you guys apart.
Okay.
Now, the both of you need to have a talk. Right now, Angisha, when you wanna throw, you just want to say, okay, look, I'm tired, and that's it. But you just need to have that conversation about how you guys felt. It can never be a thing of, I don't know how he dealt with it. These are kids that you guys lost. These are babies that you guys lost, you know? And if you guys can't come to a mutual understanding, then yes, it is grounds for you asking for a divorce, because you also can't go through life ulambile. You know? You are ulambile. I mean, so, you know, work it out, have that talk, and just be very sensitive towards each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anonymous, there's nothing to talk about here. There is nothing to talk about. You'll forever be his doormat. He had an opportunity, so many years, an opportunity to say exactly how he feels or how losing a child made him feel. Sometimes not both parents feel like they've lost a child. Sometimes the one parent will feel like they've lost a child and the other would like, oh, thank God, it's a blessing in disguise. Sometimes, not all the time. So he had an opportunity. He's an adult. Mdala. So the minute you open another box for negotiations, you're negotiating your way to be respected. Something that's supposed to happen naturally. He's lost his airtime. Anything beyond after you've had miscarriages and it did not support you, his airtime was gone. But anything beyond after this call, oh Lord, you are going to be, he's shown you so many times in so many ways that he does not regard you in any form or way. He's cheated, he's lied, he's hidden his passwords, and he's changed the rules as you went. He showed you were supposed to go out. Like, he's shown you how many times must you negotiate your way to the table that you're supposed to naturally belong to. How many times? So there's nothing to talk about. But I know for sure that I've just wasted my breath. I know for sure. I can tell you for free.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I can tell you for free.
Yesterday I went to see a divorce lawyer.
Yes.
But yes, I went to see a divorce lawyer to draft the divorce and everything. But I wasn't sure because now we are at a stage now where he now has to drop someone so that he can give them to him. But he's just waiting for me to actually give him a go ahead.
I understand.
But now,
I understand. I can tell you for free. We're gonna call you we're gonna give you 2 months. We're gonna call you in 2 months. You are going to be where you are today. I can bet. If I'm wrong, I'm taking you on a trip to Cape Town for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Because you are the type that sings no mungahamba guy 16 but still standing at the door. Ulira uthe no mungahamba ngeke ngilile uyiphinda guy 16 aka movie. So I know your type. Ngizohamba yes. Hamba. Yasi ngizohamba ngamampela. Hamba. Aza kuphusha athi yabona mina ngizothi ngajika la angiphinde ngibuye. Athi hamba athi usho ngihambe. Uwe loyo, but good luck, ne?
Okay, okay.
So she's calling herself.
Okay, for me.
All right, Anonymous.
But thank you. I just needed that reassurance that I'm doing the right thing.
Okay. Shama baby, you deserve the best, Mastando Sam. You deserve the best. Okay.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anonymous, for plucking up the courage to call in to ask a man. We truly appreciate you. South Africa, this is the opportunity to give us a call, 086 2160.
Exactly.
Give us a call. What advice do you have for Anonymous, Marvin Gaye, sexual healing? Come on, South Africa, taking your calls. Millicent, how are you this morning? Hi, Millicent. Lost Millicent there. Let's head on over to Anonymous. Good morning, Anonymous.
Good morning, how are you?
Good and you.
I'm good, thank you. Hi, Anonymous.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you, Anonymous?
Good and you.
I'm good. I feel like you were not supportive towards your partner because I'm speaking as a woman who has also had 3 miscarriages. But then I feel like you only felt like you are the only person who has lost in that relationship. But then both of you have lost those babies and you are not supportive towards him. I feel like the only thing that he wanted from you was for you to ask him, how are you feeling? We have both lost babies. How are you feeling? And for your doctor to say you are not supposed to have sex, that one, I don't get it. Unless if they say when you are towards 7 months or 8 months, if I'm not mistaken. Even if you do McDonald's stitching is when they close the mouth of the womb. Even if you do that, but then your doctor will advise you to have lots of sex. I feel like you also pushed him away. Remember, he's dealing with the miscarriage thing, and now you're telling him about not having sex. Have you ever sat down with your partner and asked him, baby, how are you feeling?
Look, Anonymous.
Yes.
Remember, we have to take into consideration that Anonymous herself also might not have been. Look, we know what happens with your emotions when you're pregnant. And on top of that, she also lost kids too. So they were both in a situation that they could not handle. And this is the right time to talk before it's too late. Do you think when this relationship is done?
The relationship is done.
Okay.
As Somizi said, the relationship is done, and Anonymous is the only person who can just stand up and walk away.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Anonymous. We appreciate you also addressing us as Anonymous. All right, let's head on over to Alex out in Cape Town. Good morning, Alex. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Alex, talk to us.
Sorry, man, I'm a bit shaking. It's my first time.
No, don't shake. Don't shake. I got you.
But good. I was in the same situation when my wife was delivering, so I had to be there. And there was something went wrong, so I had to be there for 8 hours, holding the baby on my own, while my wife was out. So that was a trauma to me. Even now, if you talk about babies, I don't want to be there anymore. You see, I think the guy has got the same problem. He's so traumatized, so he doesn't want to be involved in those kind of things. Maybe if they can get a counseling, we can work. Just suggestion.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Appreciate you, Alex.
Yeah.
Let me squeeze in one voice note. Let's take a listen.
I just want to say Somizi is being harsh in a way that there are many aspects that makes a marriage. And it's not easy as a woman to walk out just because of sex. Yes, for men it is very easy. And that is why they will cheat when a woman is even pregnant and is not supposed to have sex with her. But now the issue is if other aspects are okay, this woman is not going to be easy for her to walk out because sexual starvation does not guarantee that a person is a bad person.
Sure.
Okay.
basazonivuruvaya amadoda ninebekezela syndrome.
Let me, you know what, Nesomis? As you guys know, my woman gave birth a couple of months ago, right? And there's something that I'd never done in my life. Before we conceived, we started going to classes. And guys, pregnancy is not just as a majita, it's not just faga tano corner there, you know? Go for those classes. Familiarize yourself with so many, like get that knowledge, get information. Don't just go into it blind, because then you will end up with situations like this when when you've not educated yourself with certain things. So just empower yourselves. If you know you want to have babies, Go get education. Go for classes. You know, because sometimes Jay, we want to throw relationships away. Ganti, the love is still there, but we've just never had that counseling. We've just never had that talking. You can't just throw things away, Jay.
Thank you very much, Naked. Thank you very much, Somizi. Truly appreciate you, Anonymous, and of course to you, South Africa. It's time for the news.